fresh, very exciting. Immigrants to New York City by Minerva Teichert, and I think it is the perfect image to introduce the thesis of this exhibition, which is really all about the people, the land, and the stories that make America what it is and continue to tell the story of what America is becoming. And Minerva Teichert is perhaps best known for her images of pioneers moving westward, for her illustrations of the Book of Mormon, and perhaps less so for scenes like this, where she depicts German Jewish immigrants to New York City. And one must ask the question, why the sudden change in subject matter? There are really two answers to this question. The first is that it was a very timely issue. Between 1933 and 1939, roughly 90,000 German Jewish immigrants came to the United States, fleeing the persecution in Germany at the time. The largest number came in 1938, the year that this work was painted. But that is only one reason. The second is that Minerva Teichert's own son, Hermann, was actually serving a mission in Germany during this time. And he wrote to his mother about this very persecution that he witnessed firsthand. And as an American with German ancestry, I believe that Minerva Teichert was personally touched by the plight of these German Jews. And so she paints this image and wants the viewer, I believe, to connect personally with these people. For one thing, she places you right on the ship with these immigrants, leaves a space for you to become part of them and to observe their various personal responses to this momentous occasion of seeing the New York skyline for the first time. And you can see the awe with which they look upward, others downwards, clearly still traumatized by their sudden departure from the homeland, both old and young. And we see reactions ranging from hopefulness to sadness to perhaps despair of perhaps having lost a husband, but also simply the fatigue of an old man who has been on board of the ship for 4.5 days, the journey that it would take from Europe to the new land, to this promised land. And that is really something Minerva brings out in the way she presents the skyline. Look at the light, the dawning of a new day that brings hope, the upward verticality of course, the structures that are imposing and are certainly unusual to these people that are not used to any skyscrapers, for none of them existed in Germany at this time. But it is the Statue of Liberty, of course, that adds the exclamation point and conjures up the ideas of freedom and people seeking refuge. There's also fog here above the waters, again, shrouding the city in this mist that is both mysterious, enigmatic, but also exciting. And I love the inclusion of this instrument here, this man. I think Minerva is hinting at the idea of these people bringing with them skills and talents that will enrich the culture and help America become what it is. Now, all of this would suggest that America saw itself as this land of refuge, and clearly it had been that for many people. It was a country that, of course, welcomed immigrants, was settled by refugees or immigrants of sorts from the very beginning. But the truth is also that in 1938, the year that this work was painted, 80% of Americans actually opposed increasing immigration quotas to receive more refugees. So Minerva Teichert was in a way going against the tide of the majority and was trying to make a statement, was trying to convince people that these people are not a burden. They are in need, they need a place of safety and refuge, and that they will enrich America with the things that they will bring to it. I want to show you briefly just a contemporary photograph of the New York skyline to show you how Minerva Teichert has modified and manipulated the image somewhat to again underline her message. For one thing, she has contracted the space. This skyline is not near as close to the statue as it really is. But more importantly, perhaps, she has positioned the Statue of Liberty in a way that we can see her face, that she welcomes us with a promise of protection, of economic prosperity and safety. And she's also emphasized some of the buildings, the skyscraper there all the way to the right in the painting is enlarged. It is providing balance perhaps to the Statue of Liberty, so there are compositional reasons, but also ideological reasons to emphasize the grandeur of this promised land. I invite you the curator that I hope you will take advantage of. The second is not so much an event as it is a gallery guide that you can pick up at the entrance to this exhibition, where you can engage people of all ages, your children, yourself, or with perhaps a date on a tour through this exhibition with various activities, more information about the works in this gallery guide. Again, great for children as well. And then also for couples going on date, we have a scavenger hunt available at the front desk, and you can win a prize as you engage with the art here again in a very fun and educational kind of way. Again, thanks for joining us this morning, and I hope to see you here at the Museum of Art in person very soon.